Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories like these. Now, let's get into today's story video.
Finally found out that my girlfriend of 10 plus years and fiancé of 4 years has been cheating on me for the last 3 years. After deciding to put all of our money into purchasing a house. Yesterday morning, as he walked out of my driveway, a 30-year-old guy, 5 years my junior, yelled at me. My fiancé and this guy, who claims to be surprised that the person he's been seeing for 3 years now has a home, a dog, and an engaged boyfriend, makes me feel a bit better about myself as I walk out the door. While I was outside with the two of them, he came in after finishing his speech segment and strolled inside the room. For the last 10 years, my partner and I have been together. Our relationship went through many ups and downs while I was away at graduate school, and we ended up getting engaged as a result of our experiences. My mother's house had undergone a dramatic transformation by the time I returned. The lack of connection and intimacy between the two of us was just a continuation of what we had been experiencing before. They did, however, agree to work on the project as a collaborative effort. Things began to appear more promising, and we ultimately opted against having a wedding in the first place. Using the money we had saved and the money that our family would be able to give for us, we hoped to be able to purchase a home. Her connection with this other man comes to light after a year of living at home and years of arguing with me over my choice to allow her to be independent and go out with her friends on Friday and Saturday evenings. Over an extended length of time. In light of how connected our lives have become and the fact that we have this magnificent home in both of our names, I'm at a loss for what to do. In addition to being a superb canine friend, I am encouraged by the fact that she has not refuted anything and seems to have told me the complete truth about this individual. This man was capable of filling a hole in her life that I was unable to fill. Her motivation for doing the crime was twofold: she wanted to feel loved again, and she also wanted to restore her youthful look. I suppose our circumstance was too much for her, and she wanted to be able to pretend she was back in college or something similar to relieve the stress. To be really honest, that's not very fair to me. Though she said that she would want for us to work, I can't seem to get the picture of her in this lie out of my brain, despite her statements. Everything about our lives, our family, and our home is something I adore. But, despite this, I'm not sure I'll ever be able to love her in the same way that I did before. Update, latest development: after getting the news, I decided to spend the weekend apart from her to give her some breathing room. When I confided in a few close friends, they supplied me with some sound counsel, but they eventually advised me against making any quick judgments in either way. You should feel these feelings, but you should not allow them to take over your life or demand filthy answers from other people in return. Despite the fact that my partner has been abusive to me, I have no ill will toward her and have no wish to see her die. We all know what you're thinking, and it may be an indicator that I'm losing interest in her, but I really don't want her to die by the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. All I want is for people to be honest with themselves, and I would want for everyone to be honest with themselves as well. My first and most essential objective is to be able to make an honest choice for myself with the confidence that I deserve. There has been a great lot of discussion and disagreement about her motivation for doing what she did over the last several days, and this has continued into today. It's utterly unreasonable in every way. However, it did draw attention to the fact that something was wrong between us. This week, my therapists are different. I'm seeing an independent therapist alone as well as a couple therapist with her, which is a first for me. However, this week, I took the day off and told her that I would be spending the day at the beach instead of in the workplace. My suggestion was that we spend some time apart to allow our emotions to be processed and our composure to be restored. In the aftermath of the things I've done to her over the years, she has expressed sorrow, and although some of her feelings are genuine, I believe she needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror to realize what she's done. Furthermore, I've seen that she is much more protective of her activities and scared of losing her home to me and being labeled as the cheating spouse than I am, despite the fact that my life has been totally flipped upside down as a result of her actions. That is really important. So I'm entrusting her with all of my typical duties this week, even things she doesn't understand about what I do around the home, as a result of her recent diagnosis. Please accept my apologies, but I'm not going to accept your pitchforks and demand that I dump her in front of everyone while making a huge spectacle of myself. That's simply not the way I roll, to be honest. Better to make an educated choice and then be happy with my decision than the other way around. It will be because of her heinous behavior that I will have to leave her in the way in which I did that I will be able to develop as a person. She'll be even more dissatisfied if she happens to run into the person she might have been with earlier in the day. But I'm not quite there yet. I'm still a bit puzzled and befuddled by the whole situation. Update 2. Several significant developments have occurred in the previous month or two, and the therapy has shown to be really effective. After much deliberation, my ex-fiancé and I decided that she needed to relocate to a new apartment and that we needed to end our relationship completely. According to rumors, we've been visiting a variety of therapists and have agreed to desist from communicating for at least 1 month as a result of our relationship. That time frame has been set out just for me. Having come to the conclusion that being in touch with her on a regular basis and reliving earlier events and disputes with her does nothing except make me feel worse, I've chosen to discontinue communication with her until I'm feeling better about the situation. Once, or whenever, the opportunity presents itself. Due to the events described in my last article, I have been suffering from the worst depression I have ever experienced in my life, which has lasted for many weeks. However, I believe that it has the potential to be effective in a number of specific situations. I've been getting more aware of my identity and what I want/need in life, as well as in a romantic relationship, over the past few months, in addition to exercising and going on dates with my boyfriend. Adultery is something that is expected in a long-term relationship that has taken its time to develop, particularly if you come from a family where infidelity has been the standard down the generations. And it is this that has been at the root of my issues. To be quite honest, I have no concept of what constitutes a normal relationship or what it would be like. Talking to others who have had no prior experience with anything like this and who have no understanding of our situation has been beneficial because it has allowed me to see how twisted our lives were and how screwed up what she did was as a result of her actions has allowed me to see how twisted our lives were and how screwed up what she did was as a result of her actions has allowed me to see how twisted our lives were and how screwed up what she did was as a result of her actions. In a similar vein, I had recently talked with the individual in issue who, like me, seemed to be completely uninformed of the circumstances. He hasn't replied to my mail as of this writing. As a result, I personally spoke with her in order to get clarity on a few topics and confirmation that she had seen him since D-Day. My ex has attempted to revive our relationship on multiple occasions, but I have no intention of joining him in his endeavors to do so. During the following several months, I want to buy her out of our house, with the intention of gradually relocating her somewhere else with me in the meantime. I will most likely provide another final update on this after all of the paperwork has been completed and I have returned to my usual life. In any event, I wanted to express my gratitude to everyone who has shown their support for me on this site or via private messages on other platforms. I appreciate you all. There is no way to fully prepare for or comprehend it unless you have gone through it yourself, and I am now going through it myself. On top of that, I get recurrent nightmares and feel drained and dejected from time to time. I am now seeing symptoms of this, and I believe that it is still possible to remain positive, if not downright excited about the future despite the current circumstances. Any other person experiencing a similar predicament should do all in their power to get away from the situation as soon as possible. I highly advise them. It's important to keep a safe distance from the individual who had the affair since they are toxic and will make you feel miserable. Take comfort in the fact that you are not the one who is feeling discomfort. Commit to doing activities that will keep your mind active and engaged, such as going out with friends or traveling on a vacation, and maintain that promise to yourself. Broken Open by Elizabeth Lesser was recommended to me by my therapist, and it turned out to be a book that was really beneficial to my healing journey.